So good morning, and thanks a million for joining me on the yoga mat this morning. This week's focus is balance and stability. So we want to create a nice bit of balance, left to right, front to back, nice stable muscles within the body, particularly those around the core and the pelvis area. So we're trying to engage with our deeper intrinsic muscles. And they're those muscles that kind of wrap around our spine and give us strength, give us posture, and kind of develop that powerhouse of the body. So when we're working with our balance poses, there's a few different ways to make it more challenging. So again, if you've been practicing for a while, I'll cue you as we go. But to make it more challenging, we want lesser points of contact on the ground. So if we want to stabilize our pose or ground our pose, more points of contact to the ground and we feel a little bit more stable. But again, if we want to challenge those balance muscles, less points of contact. The second one is our point of focus. So I'll talk about our drishti point in yoga, and that's finding a point to fix our gaze, and that will help us kind of center the body and help us develop our balance. And if you want to challenge the balance, moving point of focus, or you can close the eyes completely down. If you feel like you need a little bit more stability, you can take the gaze toward the ground, and a little bit less, you can take the gaze up. And the last one is to do with our surface area, that we're touching the ground. So if our surface is solid, it's going to be a little bit easier. If we want to challenge our balance, a nice squidgy mat or doing our balance sequence on a carpeted surface, it's going to challenge us a little bit more. Same thing we have with our balance board as well. Anything that kind of unstabilizes or destabilizes our points of contact surface is going to be a little bit more challenging. So that's it. We're going to get right into it. So starting in a nice easy cross-legged seat, we'll relax the shoulders back, melting the heart open, lengthening tall through the crown of the head. We're going to inhale, press the chest to the right, bring it through center all the way over to the left. And as we exhale, tuck the chin in, we'll round through that upper back and we'll continue. Drawing nice full circles, nice deep bend to the elbows so we can really get into those shoulders. Let the head and neck just go with the flow here. Maybe close down the eyes, noticing where the breath is at. And just a nice gentle breath in and out through the nose, nothing forced, just gently wakening up the body. We can use the heels of the hands to draw ourselves a little bit further forward and to press ourselves a little bit further back as we stretch between those shoulders. And eventually we're going to meet back at center. We reverse the crisscross of the legs. And then inhale, press the chest to the left to draw it through center, all the way over to the right. And as we exhale, tuck the chin and continue with your own breath. Nice, full, rounded movements. And feeling that into the opposite hip, and just notice how that does feel. Does it feel a wee bit niggly? A little bit easier? So again, just tuning in with the imbalances within the body so that we can try to aim for balance. We first of all need to recognize the instabilities or the imbalance in order to, I'm not going to say fix it, but bring it a little bit closer to equilibrium. Eventually we move back in seat. Again, nice and strong. We're going to open the palms. And then inhale both arms out, reaching up. Interlock fingers, press palms to the ceiling. As we exhale, press the palms forward and really stretch between the shoulders. And we'll do that twice more. So nice big stretch as we inhale, look up. And as we exhale, press forward and release. We'll do that once more. Lovely. We're going to inhale the right arm up. Bending the right elbow, we'll drape the hand across the head and slowly draw that right ear toward the shoulder. So not the shoulder to the ear, that shoulder's drawn down. Just until we get a nice little stretch. We might even reach the left hand across the body to accentuate that stretch. If that feels good, we're going to tilt the chin toward the chest, starting to get into our trapezius here. And again, we're not pulling on the head. That right hand is just there to bring a little bit of consciousness to the area, a little bit of focus, and also an added little weight. Again, just breathing softly here. Nice little release into the neck and into the upper back. And take one more breath. And then slowly release back up to center. We rest that right hand down. We're going to inhale the left arm up. Bend the left elbow, drape the hand across the head. And then slowly draw that left ear toward the shoulder, pulling the left shoulder away. Maybe crossing the right arm over the body if you want to exaggerate that stretch a little bit more. So again, constantly drawing those shoulders down. If that feels good, we're going to tilt the chin ever so slightly toward the chest. So just until you feel a nice release, don't force it. And again, we'll just breathe into that space. Softly, softly. One more breath. And then gently release all the way back to center. We can rest that left hand down. And we're just going to gently take the gaze all the way over to the left, as far as we can go. Inhale back to center, and as we exhale, twist all the way over to the right. And continue with your own breath. Trying to, again, aim for balance, but again, noticing if we're finding a little bit easier on one side than the other. And if that twist in the neck is imbalanced, we're going to find that all down through the spine and right into the hips. So again, it's something really good to be aware of and something really good to work on. You'll often find it in our swimmers if they are unilateral breathers. If they just breathe to one side, they might find their rotation is a little bit easier. And sometimes it's good just to try that bilateral breathing to balance out the body so it's not becoming too dominant in one side. Lovely. Last one, we're going to interlock the fingers, place them to the back of the crown of the head. Relax the elbows here and just gently tilt the chin to the chest. Again, getting a nice double stretch into the neck, into the upper back, maybe even into the mid back. We're just going to breathe easy here. Again, not forcing it, just enjoying that gentle release. And slowly inhale back to center, and as we exhale, rest the hands. We're going to pick the right foot up. We place it into the left hand, draw the toe toward the knee. We place the knee into the right hand, sitting as tall as we can. See if we can lift the shin a little bit higher, but maintain that lovely length in the spine. And then we can rock into that right hip. If the left foot's in the way, feel free to straighten that leg out or make any little adjustments to your seat. So again, just aiming for a nice natural range here. So again, not forcing that hip awake, just going to where it feels good. Not being afraid to draw the knee back as far as it goes. Not being afraid to draw the foot across the body. So again, a nice slow, controlled movement. So just working within your own range here, wakening up into that right hip, slowly, slowly. Relax the breath. Feel free to close down the eyes. Eventually, we're going to come back to center, hugging chest to shin, shin to chest. If you'd like to go deeper, left elbow onto the right foot, right elbow onto the right knee. And I'm lots more words this morning. We can either interlock the fingers or just rest them to the shin. And again, option only. Staying here nice and tall in the spine. If we want to get a little bit of self-massage, we're going to draw a few little circles into that right hip. And again, just notice the smaller the circles are, we're kind of working into our insertion point. So try to make those circles a little bit larger so we're getting more into the fleshy part of the muscle. So kind of massaging into the insertion point isn't going to give us much release. So if we can just make those circles a little bit larger until we feel it into the soft tissue. And there should be no pain here. It's just a nice sensation of release. Relax the breath. We're going to reverse those circles, opposite direction. So again, get a little bit of mobility here into that right hip. And again, not forcing it. And eventually coming back to center. So we have options here. We can come back to easy cross-legged with the right foot out front, or we can stack the joints. Right ankle on top of the left knee, right knee on top of the left ankle. Either way, we're drawing those toes toward the knees. We're keeping those lower legs nice and active. So log pose only if we can keep that right knee down. If the right knee is really high, I prefer if you come back into easy cross-legged, and then when the hips loosen up a little bit, we can aim for log pose. We're going to inhale both arms out, reaching up, but as we exhale, gently fold, reaching forward through the fingertips, lengthening through the base of the spine, and then we'll rest the hands out front. As we inhale, lengthen, and as we exhale, see if we can creep those fingertips forward a little bit more, maybe even rocking into the hips a little bit. Pressing the ground away, really drawing the sit bones back. Release the head, release the neck. Maybe even try and tucking that chin toward the chest and feeling that into the whole posterior chain of the body. Every exhale, allow ourselves relax a little bit deeper into the fold, but don't force it and don't get too worried about how high up or how low down you're going into that fold once you're getting a release. One more breath. Gently tuck the chin in, we'll walk the hands back toward the body. Left hand just above the right knee, we'll inhale the right arm up, and as we exhale, gently twist to the right, placing the right hand just behind us on the ground, really close to the lower back. As we inhale, press into the ground, lengthen through the spine, and as we exhale, gently twist, hugging that right shoulder back, front of the body almost parallel to the side wall, looking over the shoulder and really drawing that left shoulder away from the ear, maybe even tilting the head slightly to the right, getting a little bonus stretch into the neck. Lengthening on the inhale, twisting, releasing on the exhale. One more breath. And then gently inhale back to center as we exhale, twist to the left. And then slowly coming back to center. We rest the right foot down. We're going to pick the left foot up. Place it into the right hand, draw the toe toward the knee, place the knee into the left hand. So you got it that time. Sitting nice and tall, maybe bring the shin a little bit higher if it feels good. And again, just softly rocking into that left hip. Again, not forcing it. Repositioning that right foot if you need, and try not to collapse into the spine. And just notice how this side feels compared to the other. Again, not forcing it, but we're trying to get a nice full range here. No pain, just release. Relax the breath. Feel free to close the eyes down if it feels better. And just really tuning in with where that left hip is at this morning. Eventually, we're going to meet back at center, hugging chest to shin, shin to chest. If we want to go deeper into the hip, foot rests into the right elbow crease, knee into the left. We can interlock fingers or place them to the shin. Again, maintaining that lovely length of the spine. And if we want a little self-massage, making a few nice big circles. We're going to do both directions, so either way to start. And again, notice the fuller those circles get, the more we're going to get into the soft tissue or the bellies of the muscle. So again, we're working into glute here, a little bit into hamstring. But again, there should be no pain, no numbness, no tingling, just a nice sense of release. We're going to reverse those circles. And as we do so, just noticing how that feels. So both side to side, and as we change direction, notice how that hip is doing. Eventually, we're going to meet back at center. So again, options here to come back into easy cross-legged with the left foot out front, or we can stack the joints, left ankle on top of right knee, left knee on top of right ankle, and we're drawing those toes toward the knees, again, making sure that left knee comes down on its own as much as we can. So if it's slightly up, that's fine, but if it's quite high, just come into your easy cross-legged. Nice and tall into the spine, and this might be enough in log pose, so don't feel you have to work toward your folds. If you want to join me, we'll inhale both arms out, reaching up, and as we exhale, gently reach forward through the fingertips, almost like somebody's pulling you at the wrists, somebody's holding you at the waist, and then we rest the hands out front. As we inhale, lengthen through the spine, and as we exhale, gently walk those fingertips forward. We might shift the hips side to side just to create a little bit of space into the joints. Relax the head, relax the neck, maybe you can tuck the chin in if it feels okay. We're going to press the ground away and really draw those sit bones back. Lengthening on the inhale, folding, releasing on the exhale. One more breath. Gently tuck the chin in, we'll walk the hands back toward the body. Right hand just above the left knee. We'll inhale the left arm up, and as we exhale, gently twist to the left, we'll place the hand on the ground behind us, really close to the lower back. Pressing that right hand into the leg. We're going to inhale, lengthen tall. And as we exhale, gently twist. Looking over the left shoulder, maybe walking the left hand around the body. Pressing the right hand into the leg, giving ourselves a little bit more leverage into that twist. Lengthening tall on the inhale, releasing, opening on that exhale. We'll take one more breath. And then slowly inhale back to center. Small little twist to the right, just release. And then back to center again. We're going to bring both feet out front. And then we're going to straighten the legs to start with. Adjusting the sit bones, getting nice and comfortable. We're going to stay here. If that feels good, we're going to bend the right knee. Place the right ankle just above the left knee and work that right knee toward the ground. So similar to what we did last week. We're going to see if we can bend the left knee ever so slightly. And if we can, we're going to flatten that left foot down to the ground. We're going to bring the arms behind us, fingertips point back. And then see if we can create a little bit less space between the heel and the sit bone, but just make sure that sit bone is on the ground. So we're getting again into that right hip. So this is like our figure four on the ground, except we can really relax into that right leg. Notice if we're collapsing into the shoulders. See if you can press into the ground, open into the heart. Drawing that right toe toward the knee, so we're not feeling any pressure in the knee joint, and we're pressing that right knee away from the body. So the closer that left heel comes toward the sit bone, we're probably going to feel that a little bit deeper, but don't force it. Nice and stable here. Notice that left knee is tracked over the ankle, so it's not too close to the center line. So again, nice 90-degree angle there. Inhale, we're lengthening. Exhale, we're pressing that right knee away. This can be quite deep, so again, if it's too deep, just straighten that left leg out a little bit more. We're just going to relax here within the pose. One more breath. Excellent. And slowly we'll straighten the left leg out. If it's not there already, we'll straighten that right leg out to meet it. Again, give the hips a little shake here. We'll hug the left knee in. We're going to rest the left ankle just above the knee, drawing the toe toward the knee and pressing that knee down. And this might be as far as we go, and that's totally fine. If you want to try a little bit deeper, we're going to drag the heel toward us, maybe flatten out the foot. At this stage, we can bring the hands behind us to give ourselves a little bit of support. Pressing the ground away, opening into the heart. And again, if we want to go a little bit deeper, working the heel toward the sit bone toward the heel, but again, try not to collapse into those shoulders. As we draw the left toe toward the knee, we're pressing the left knee away from the body. And again, see if we can bring that foot in line with the knee so it's not too close to that center line. Breathing here, nice and softly, in and out through the nose. As we exhale, try to relax a little bit more. And just notice how this feels compared to the other side. Not forcing it, just noticing. Maybe it's a little bit freer, maybe it's a little bit more restricted. And just see if you can really relax into that space. We'll take one more breath. Slowly, we're going to straighten the leg. Bring that left foot out to meet right. And then we'll bend both knees. So feet are wider than hip width distance apart. We're going to inhale here, and as we exhale, drop the knees over to the right as we look over the left shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale, knees drop to the left as we look over the right shoulder. And continue with your own breath. Making sure the feet are wide enough apart that they don't have to move, and there's enough space for the opposite knee to fall behind the opposite foot. If you want to bring a little bit of core and balance into it, next time we come to center, hands come to heart, and we continue that movement. So we're looking over the opposite shoulder, getting a little bit spinal rotation here. We're using the movement to really massage into those glutes. Try to press the knees all the way down to the ground if you can. Next time we come to right, we're going to pause here. Again, we can use the hands on the ground to help us, or we can keep the hands to the heart center. We're going to gently shift the body weight forward and see if we can lift the body off the ground. Pressing the hips forward, drawing the shoulders back. We'll pause here for 3, for 2, and 1. Slowly release back to center. We'll inhale back. And as we exhale, drop the knees over to the left. Pause here. Again, hands can be on the ground or to the heart center. Gently leaning forward over that left foot and see if we can lift the body off the ground. Pressing the hips forward, drawing the shoulders back for 3, for 2, and 1. Gently release, and then slowly pull back to center. Shifting our way back onto the mat if we've come off it. From here, turning to the front of the mat, we're going to do our little core sequence similar to what we did on Tuesday. Knees are together, feet are together. Again, there's about a foot between the heels and the sit bones. Notice if we're slumping, collapsing into the spine. Press the hands into the shins. See if we can press the chest forward or the shoulders back and lengthen nice and tall. Find a point out in front to focus our gaze. Bring the arms forward, palms face each other. We're going to gently roll back. We'll keep that lovely long spine. Keep that gaze fixed forward. Starting to feel a little bit light in the toes. We maybe might come up onto the tippy toes. We might alternate one shin parallel to the ceiling, touch down. Opposite shin parallel to the ceiling. We might continue alternating legs. We might bring both shins together. So again, options here, but keep the heart lifted. Imagining there's a piece of string attached to your heart center, drawing you forward, and another piece attached to the crown of your head, drawing you upward. So lovely length and space into the core, holding it wherever we are. Relax the breath for 3, for 2, and 1. Crisscross of the ankles, we'll gently fold forward and release. So again, developing our balance here. If we need more stability, keep those tippy toes on the ground. Otherwise, we're challenging ourselves. Least points of contact to the ground. We go in for a second round. Tuck the chin in. Walk those hands back toward the body. Feet out front. Knees are together. Feet are together. Foot between the heels and sit bones. And nice and tall and strong in the spine. Extend those arms forward. And again, we'll gently roll back. Starting to get light in the toes, up onto the tippy toes. Again, we can alternate legs. Again, notice that rounded spine. So it's really good to check in sometimes even on your camera to see how we're looking. Maybe alternating shins, maybe both shins together. Try to keep those feet and knees together. If you want to challenge it a little bit further, imagining that we're holding a ball between the hands. We're going to lift that ball a little bit higher. We'll inhale here, and as we exhale, we're going to bring those hands all the way over to the right, a little bit low. Inhale back to center. Exhale, bring that ball all the way over to the left. Inhale back to center. And continue with your own breath. So we're kind of painting a little arc here, a little rainbow shape. But try to maintain that length in the spine, that openness in the heart. So we're not losing that. And again, feel free to do this movement with the tippy toes on the ground. We're still going to get a little bit of balance. We're still going to get that lovely rotation and engagement in the core. Really strong. Last one. We're going to meet back at center when you're ready. Crisscross of the ankles and then gently fold forward and release. Release the head, release the neck, release the breath. Maybe rock a little bit into the hips if it feels good. Maybe rock a little bit into the neck if it feels good. Just loosening out the body, relax the breath. Last one, we're going to tuck the chin in, walk those hands back toward the body. Bring the feet out front. Feet are together, knees are together. Nice foot between the heels and the sit bones, and nice and strong, long in the spine. Extend the arms forward, palms face each other, gently rolling back. Starting to feel light in the toes. Tippy toes, again, stay here. Maybe alternate shins. Maybe bring both shins together. Again, keep opening into the heart, lengthening into the spine. If we want to challenge it, again, we lift that ball a little bit higher. We're going to draw the right knee in and straighten out through the left leg. Press the way through the heel. Knees together in. Exhale, straighten that right leg out. Inhale, knees together. Exhale, straighten the left leg out, bending at the right. Inhale, knees together, and continue with your own breath. Alternating legs, slow, controlled movement. So again, as we bring movement into our static balance pose, it becomes a little bit more challenging. So really getting into those deeper intrinsic stabilizing muscles here. Going to feel it a wee bit into the hip flexors here too, so that's quite normal. Relax the breath. Finally, we meet with the knees together, crisscross the ankles and fold forward and release. Release the head, release the neck, release the breath. Softening the body side to side if it feels good. Tuck the chin and just really feel that release into the whole posterior chain of the body, right down to the sit bones. Looking forward to the hands, we're going to flatten the hands out in front. Fingers are widely spread. Shifting the body weight forward, we're going to step back onto the knees and we're going to find ourselves centered in the middle of our mat in a nice strong tabletop. Shoulders over elbows over wrists, elbow creases face forward, knees hip width distance apart, hips are stacked over knees, and just notice if the belly's collapsed, see if we can draw that belly button in, really engaging with that lower back. We're going to inhale, draw the chest forward as we take the gaze up and arch the spine. Exhale, press into the ground, curl through the spine, take the gaze back to the belly. Inhale, gaze goes forward and up, arching the spine. Exhale, press into the ground, curl through the spine, really tuck the chin to the chest. Continue with your own breath. Nice, strong cat-cow curls. The whole length of the spine here. So really exaggerating that movement. Feel free to rock the hips a little bit side to side, maybe roll the shoulders a little bit side to side. So just getting into all the joints here, but with a strong focus on opening into the spine. Eyes are closed, we're just really engaging with that movement. Relax the breath, feel free to sigh it out. Eventually, we're going to meet back in our tabletop. Left hand stays grounded, fingers widely spread. We'll stretch that right arm out in front. We'll stretch that left foot out behind. We're going to bend the left knee this morning, pressing the sole of the foot toward the ceiling. So just getting a little bit more into that hamstring. If we want to challenge the balance, we're going to follow the right middle finger with the gaze. Otherwise, we can take the gaze to the ground, making sure that left shoulder is stacked over the wrist. Inhale, right elbow, left knee into touch. Exhale, straighten that right arm out as we press the sole of the foot toward the ceiling. Inhale, knee to elbow in. Exhale, extend it out and lift. 3 more. Inhale in. Exhale, extend. 2 more. Keep that elbow crease facing forward so the elbow's not collapsing out to the side. Really strong in that arm. 1 more. We're going to meet in extension. This time we're going to straighten the left leg. We'll inhale, center, and as we exhale, bring the right arm all the way out to the right, left foot all the way out to the left, but try to keep the foot high. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, arm out to the right, foot out to the left. Again, gaze can be to the ground or we can follow that right hand. 2 more. Last one. Meeting back at center, we're going to rest the right hand down. Landing on the ball of the left foot, we'll press away through the heel for 3. For 2. And 1. Left knee comes back in to meet right. This time we're going to really ground that right hand into the mat, spreading through the fingertips, shoulders stacked over elbow and wrist. Extend the left arm forward, pressing back through the right foot, through the heel, really reaching through those fingertips. We're going to bend the right knee, press sole of the foot toward the ceiling. Again, gaze can be to the ground or we can follow that left middle finger if we wish. Inhale, knee to elbow in. Exhale, extend it out and lift. Inhale, slowly in. Exhale, extend it out and continue with your own breath. Making sure that right shoulder and arm feels super strong. Again, elbow crease faces forward. If it's too much in the upper body, feel free to keep both hands on the ground and just work into that back leg. So we're still getting a bit of balance. We're definitely getting a bit of core and a little bit of hamstring glute activation. Nice and slow. Slow it right down. Last one. We're going to meet in extension. We'll straighten the right leg. Inhale at center, and as we exhale, left hand all the way out to the left, right foot all the way out to the right, but try to keep the foot high. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, left arm to the left, right foot to the right. Back to center, inhale. Exhale it out. Last one, inhale center. Exhale it out. Back to center, and we bring that left hand to the ground, landing on the ball of the right foot. Gently press away through the heel for 3, for 2, and 1. Slowly bringing that knee in to meet the left. We're going to gently sit back toward the heels, softening the forehead toward the ground or to a block if it doesn't quite reach. And then we're just going to bring those hands back by the feet, just to give those shoulders and arms a little breather. Again, if it feels too much in the knees, you can always roll up a towel, place it behind the knees. If it feels too much at the front of the ankles, likewise, you can cushion the front of the ankles. Just making yourself as comfortable as you can here in your child's pose. Maybe rock the hips if it feels good. Directing those sit bones back toward the heels as much as we can. Relax that space between the shoulders, relax the arms. When you're ready, we'll bring those hands back to the front of the mat. Shifting the body weight forward, knees and feet are hip width distance apart. We're going to tuck both toes under. Pressing the ground away, we're looking back toward the feet. We're going to press hands and feet into the ground, lift the knees, lift the hips nice and high. See if we can lower back onto those heels. As we lift the hips, see if we can press the ground away and draw the chest a little bit closer toward the mat. See if we can straighten the legs as much as feels good, and then we'll gently paddle out the feet. Opposite heels melting softly toward the ground. Nice openness into the chest here, so keep pressing that chest down toward the ground. And again, just notice if the hamstrings feel a little bit over lengthened. Keep a little softness to the knee all the time. Okay, so from our downward dog, we're going to inhale the right leg up, bend the right knee, and we'll open the hips to the right side of the room, pressing the sole of the foot all the way out to the right. Keeping that right knee as high as we can. If we feel like going a little bit further into our back bend, we're going to look at that right foot and we're going to slowly lower it to the ground. Both feet are parallel, facing to the back of the room. We're going to lift those hips and reach that right arm all the way back overhead. So lifting the hips, pressing feet, left arm into the ground for 3, maybe looking back for 2, and 1. Coming up onto the ball of the left foot, we're going to swivel, bringing that right hand back to the ground. We'll inhale the right leg back up. And then exhale back into our downward dog. Same thing on the other side. Again, you do not have to come into your back bend. See where you're at. We're going to inhale the left leg up, bend the left knee. We'll open the hips to the left side of the room. Dropping that right heel down, really lifting that left knee. We can stay here. This is a beautiful pose in itself. Otherwise, we're going to land that left foot down to the ground. Both feet now face the back of the room. Feet are parallel. Pressing that right arm into the ground, feet into the ground, we lift the hips, and we bring that left arm all the way back overhead, looking back toward the fingertips. Again, really lifting the hips here for 3, for 2, and 1. Coming up onto the ball of the right foot, gently we bring that left hand back to meet right. Inhale the left leg back and up, and as we exhale, release back into our downward dog. Looking forward between the hands, we're going to gently walk our way to the front of the mat. Coming to a nice wide-legged forward fold. Bring those feet wider than the mat width distance apart. We might even go slightly pigeon-toed, so the toes are facing inward. Weight is back into the heels and hips. If you need to go wider till you can touch the ground, you can use your block. We're going to get the left hand to catch hold of the outside of that right leg, and then inhale the right arm up, opening the heart, taking the gaze up. Pressing the left hand into the leg, drawing yourselves a little bit deeper into the twist. We'll hold it here. Nice straight legs, nice and light in the feet for 3, for 2,
And one, slowly release. We'll bring that right hand to the outside of the left leg, as close to the ankle as we can, but keep the leg straight and keep the heart open. We'll inhale the left arm up, opening the heart, and again, maybe follow it with the gaze. Pressing the right hand into the leg, giving ourselves a little bit more leverage into the twist. We'll hold it here, opening, releasing for 3. For 2. And 1, gently release and fold. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Sigh it out, release. Gently tuck the chin in. We're going to slowly roll our way all the way up to stand. Head comes up last. And then gently heel toe those feet toward each other. Take a little drink here if you wish. We're going to come into a nice slow practice for the rest of the class this morning. If you have a block, we might place it toward the front edge corner of the mat. We're okay for a strap. Lovely. And when you're ready, we meet at the front of the mat, feet nicely grounded, about hip width distance apart. Shoulders relaxed, arms are by the sides, palms face forward. Find that point out in front to focus and fix your gaze. We're going to inhale, lift the right knee out in front. Again, you can do this sequence beside a wall or a chair if you need a little bit more balance. We're going to rest that right ankle either just above or just below the knee, bringing the hands to heart center, relax the shoulders, lengthening through the spine, pressing that right knee back. So we're getting a nice bit of space here into the right hip. If that feels good, and if the ankle is above the knee, we might soften the left knee, gently sitting back into our half chair. Keeping the spine long, keeping the gaze forward, and just notice. So if we have any little issues within the ankles, we're going to find it hard enough to sit back here. So just go as deep as feels good. Holding it wherever you are. So go deeper than me if you wish. For 3. For 2. And 1, slowly coming back up. We'll bring that right knee out in front. This time, we're going to bring the knees together. So we're going to work toward our dancer pose. And again, feel free to do this at the wall. See if we can catch the inner arch of that right foot so that the forearm or the wrist faces outwards. So we're catching from the inside. Knees stay together. Heart is open to the front. We're going to bring the arm out in front, looking toward that thumb. See if we can press back into the hands, but keep the knee toward the center line of the body so it's not splaying out to the right. Pressing back as far as we can, lifting that back leg as high as we can. When we can't lift any further, then we might tilt the body forward. Again, looking toward that thumb, lengthening through the left leg, pressing into the hand, holding it here in our dancer for 3. For 2. And 1, inhale, knees come back together. As we exhale, we're going to lift that right knee out in front. Hands to heart. Inhale, lift a little bit higher. And as we exhale, we're going to soften the left knee. And then we're going to step back onto the ball of the right foot. Nice high lunge here. Lovely. Dropping the right heel down. Opening the arms into a warrior. Palms face down. We're softening into that left knee. Inhale, straighten the left leg. Arms together overhead. Look up. Exhale, bend the left knee. Warrior lunge. 2 more. Inhale, lengthen and rise. Exhale, warrior lunge, last one. Excellent. We're going to bring the right hand to the waist. Looking forward toward that left thumb. We're going to bend deeply into the left knee, reaching the left arm out in front. If we have a block, we might use it. We might catch hold of the block, or we might bring that left hand all the way down to the ground. Shifting the body weight forward little by little, we're going to see if we can lift that right foot. Even if it's just a little bit off the ground, see if we can lift it a little bit higher. And again, don't be afraid to use that block if you want a little bit more length in the leg. Lifting that back heel, and then see if we can open the body to the right side of the room. Maybe extend that right arm up and maybe take the gaze up if we want to really challenge it. And again, just focusing on the lift, holding it here wherever you are for 3. For 2. And one, right hand back to the waist, soften the left knee. We're going to land back onto the right foot. Inhale back into warrior. And as we exhale, reverse our warrior. Right hand on the back leg. We reach that left arm all the way to the back of the room. Inhale, warrior center. And then exhale, cartwheel, both hands down, either side of the left foot, coming onto the ball of the right. We'll shift the body weight forward, placing that right foot to meet left. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up to center. Hands extended up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Second side, when you're ready, arms by the sides, palms are open, heart is open, spine is long. We're really going to grind that right foot this time. Lift the left knee out in front. Again, we might stay here, rest that left ankle just above or just below the right knee. Hands come to heart. Grounding that right foot into the mat. And remember, if our surface is soft or unstable, this is going to be challenging just in itself. If you feel like bringing it deeper, if that ankle is above the knee only, we'll bend at the right knee. See if we can sit back a little bit into our half chair. And just notice if you come a little bit easier into your chair, one side and the other. Try not to lean too far forward, lean too far back. Drawing the belly in, keeping the core connected. Gaze is fixed out in front for 3. For 2. And 1, slowly coming back up to center. We're going to bring that left knee out in front. And then slowly we bring that left knee to meet the right. See if we can catch hold of the inner arch of the left foot. So a lot of single-legged balance here this morning. Be kind to yourself, go as far as feels good, and use any surface to connect. We're going to bring that arm out in front, looking toward the right thumb, pressing the foot into the hand. See if we can draw the left heel away from the body, lifting that back leg as high as we can. We can't go any higher. And then we're going to hinge the body forward. See if we can lift that foot a little bit higher, holding it here nice and strong for 3. For 2. And 1, inhale, knees back to center. As we exhale, we'll bring that left knee in front. Inhale, lift the left knee, and as we exhale, soften the right knee. We're going to step back into our high lunge. Nice and strong here, dropping the left heel down. Turning to the left side, we'll open the arms, warrior lunge, palms face down, shoulders relaxed. Looking toward the right middle finger, we're going to inhale, straighten the right leg, arms together overhead, look up. Exhale, bend the right knee, warrior lunge. 2 more. Last one. Meeting in a warrior, left hand comes to the waist. Looking at that right hand, we're going to reach it as far forward as we can go. Nice deep bend to the knee. We're going to reach it all the way to just outside to the right of that right foot. And again, we can place our block if we want to use our block, or we can place the hand to the ground, your choice. We're going to shift the body forward as gracefully as we can. See if we can come off that left foot. Draw the toe toward the knee. See if we can lift that heel a little bit higher. Maybe opening the body to the left side of the room. Trying to straighten that right leg. So definitely use that block if you need. If that feels good, we might lengthen that left arm up toward the ceiling. We might even take the gaze up. And just notice if one side feels a little bit more stable than the other. We're going to hold it here, lifting that left leg for 3. For 2. And 1. Left hand comes to the hip, softening at the right knee. And we'll step that left foot back into our warrior. Meeting at center as we exhale, rest the left hand on the back leg, coming into our reverse as we reach that right arm all the way back overhead. Inhale back to warrior center, and as we exhale, cartwheel both hands down either side of the right foot, coming onto the ball of the left. We'll shift the body weight forward to lift the left foot up to meet right, and then exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up to center. Hands extended up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Excellent. Take a little drink here if you wish. So we're going to go into a second sequence with a few variations. So again, meeting at the front, making sure we have a little bit of space out front. Feet nicely grounded, hip width distance apart, really spreading through the feet here, creating as much space between the toes as we can. Arms are by the sides, palms are open to the front of the room. Find that point out in front to fix your gaze. We're going to inhale, lift the right knee out in front. We might stay here if you want to challenge it. As we exhale, flip the palms back. We're going to press that right foot back as far as we can, straightening the leg when we can't go any further. See if we can hinge the body forward. Keep the gaze forward. Flip the palms forward. We'll bring that right knee out in front. Exhale, flip the palms back as we press the right foot back and then gently hinge the body weight forward. Last one, inhale, lift that right knee out in front. This time as we exhale, soften the left knee. We're going to step back onto the ball of the right foot. Nice high lunge here. Framing the left foot with both hands. We'll step the left foot back to meet right. Nice strong plank, shoulders over elbows over wrists. Elbow creases face forward. Straight line from neck to heels, otherwise from neck to knees. So again, don't let the bum pop up in either pose. We can stay here. If we want to challenge it, we're going to bring that left hand a little bit closer toward the center of the mat, coming onto the outer blade of the left foot, making sure that shoulder stays stacked over the wrists. Right hand comes to the waist. We're pressing the hips upward and slightly forward. If this is too much, especially on that left arm, come to the left knee, but keep pressing that hip upward and forward. So your choice. Keeping those joints stacked. We might extend the right arm up toward the ceiling. We might even take the gaze up. If you want to go one step further, draw that right toe toward the knee and see if we can lift that right leg, but try not to allow those hips drop for 3. Lifting for 2. And 1. Release the foot, release the right hand back to the ground. Readjusting ourselves in our high plank. We're going to exhale, knees, chest, chin to the ground, elbows in, roll the heart forward on tuck the toes, press the feet into the ground as we lift the chest. Exhale, tuck the toes, press the ground away, downward dog. Stillness or walk it out, your choice. Nice little bit of space into the heart. Keep those feet nice and wide if you want to work into that hip space. And don't be afraid to make any movement that feels good here within your body. When you're ready, we'll inhale the right leg up. Looking forward, we'll bend the right knee into the chest. We're going to shift the body weight forward. Place that right foot between the hands. Drop the left heel down. Engage up into our warrior. Inhale, straighten the right leg, arms together overhead. Look up. Exhale, bend the right knee. Warrior lunge. 2 more. And again, sinking as deeply as feels good for you this morning, not forcing it. Last one. Again, left hand comes to the waist. We're going to reach that right arm as far out in front and toward the ground as we can. Either onto the block or onto the ground. We'll shift the body weight forward, so shortening that stance. So again, hand on the block or on the ground. See if we can lift that left foot nice and high. So same side as the last round, lifting that heel, maybe straightening the left arm up toward the ceiling, maybe even taking the gaze up, holding it for 3, for 2, and 1 hand back to the waist, softening the right knee, we'll step back onto that left foot, slowly coming back up into our warrior. And as we exhale, rest the left hand on the back leg, inhale, right arm up, flip the palm. And as we exhale, reach the right arm all the way back overhead, looking over the shoulder or up toward that right middle finger for 3, for 2, and 1. Inhale, back to warrior. As we exhale, cartwheel both hands down either side of the foot, coming onto the ball of the left. We'll shift the body weight forward to lift the left foot up to meet right, and then exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up to center, hands extended up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Second side when you're ready. Again, just a little bit of space out front, feet nicely grounded, hip width distance apart, arms are by the sides, palms are open. This time we're going to ground that right foot firmly into the mat. Find that point out in front to fix your gaze. Inhale, lift the left knee out in front. Again, stay here if you want to challenge it. We're going to flip the palms back, press that left foot back as far back as we can go, straightening the leg, lifting, and then gently hinging the body forward. Keep that gaze out in front. Inhale, flip the palms forward. We're going to lift that left knee nice and high out in front. Exhale, flip the palms back. We'll press that left foot back as far as we can go and then gently hinge forward. Last one, inhale, lift that left knee out in front. And as we exhale, soften the right knee. We're going to step back onto the ball of the left foot, nice and strong. Framing the right foot with both hands, we'll step the right foot back into our plank. Again, shoulders over, elbows over wrists, elbow creases face forward, knees on or off the ground, but keep that lovely straight line. Stay here, pressing away through the heels. If you want to work towards your side star plank, right hand toward the center of the mat, coming onto the outer blade of that right foot, right knee on or off the ground. Try to stack that shoulder over the wrist if we can. Left hand comes to the waist. We're pressing the hips upward, slightly forward, so the bum's not popping back too much to the back. Extend that left arm. Maybe take the gaze up. If we want to challenge it, draw the left toe toward the knee and lift that left leg, but try to keep the hips high for 3, for 2, and 1. Rest the foot, rest the left hand back to the ground. Readjust ourselves into our high plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin to the ground, elbows in, roll the heart forward, untuck the toes, press the feet into the ground as we lift the chest. Exhale, tuck the toes, press the ground away, downward dog. Stillness or walk it out, your choice. So again, just getting a little bit of movement, a little bit of blood flow into those lower limbs, into that lower back, into those hips, the heart. Relax the head, relax the neck. When you're ready, we're going to inhale the left leg back and up, looking forward, bend the left knee into the chest. We're going to step the left foot between those hands, nice and slow, dropping the right heel down, engage the core up into our warrior, extend the arms, palms face down, softening into that left knee foot are pointed forward, looking toward the left middle finger. Inhale, straighten the left leg, arms together overhead, look up. Exhale, warrior lunge, 2 more. Last one. Meeting in our warrior, right hand comes to the waist. Looking toward that left hand, we're going to reach it as far forward as we can go toward the ground, or we can place our block to the left corner of the mat. Again, we're going to shorten our stance and then gently shift the body weight forward until we can lift that right foot toward the ceiling. Keep drawing the right toe toward the knee, lifting that back leg as high as we can go. Body is turned to the right side. We might extend that right arm up, reaching toward the ceiling, reaching toward the ground. We might take the gaze up if we want to really challenge it. Lifting that back leg for 3, for 2, and 1. Release the hands, release the right foot to the ground, and then exhale, fold. Inhale, rolling up to center, hands extended up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. Lovely. We've got one last little sequence before we finish our practice this morning. So I'm going to welcome you to come to a nice flat surface. So try to make it not so challenging, but if you do want to challenge yourself, nice squidgy mat or a carpet. So we're going to start with feet about hip width distance apart, shoulders relaxed, palms are open. We're going to inhale, lift that right knee out in front. As we exhale, soften the left knee, we're going to straighten the right leg and press forward through the heel. Inhale, lift the right knee out in front. As we exhale, soften the left knee, we're going to press that right foot all the way out to the right. Inhale, lift the right knee out in front. As we exhale, soften the left knee, we'll step that right foot all the way behind, but try not to touch down. Using the hands for balance, inhale, lift that right knee out in front. And as we exhale, bring the right foot all the way over to the left, little curtsy lunge. Inhale, lift the right knee out in front. If you want to challenge it further, we can bring the hands to heart. Exhale, soften the left knee, straighten that right leg out in front. Inhale, lift the right knee. Exhale, soften the left knee as we step that right foot all the way out to the right. Again, try not to touch down. Inhale, lift the right knee out in front. Exhale, soften the left knee. Point that right foot all the way back behind. Last one, inhale, lift the right knee out in front. And as we exhale, bring the right leg behind the left, bending through the left knee, little curtsy lunge. Inhale, right knee out in front. And then exhale, release and let it go, shaking that left foot out. Relax the breath. Quite challenging on that standing leg. So good for developing lower leg and ankle strength as well as our balance. Meeting again, feet nicely grounded. Again, this time we're going to really ground that right foot into the mat. Arms are by the sides, palms are open to the front of the room. We're going to find that point out in front to fix our gaze. Inhale, lift the left knee out in front. As we exhale, soften the right knee. We're going to straighten that left leg as we sit back a little bit. Inhale, lift the left knee out in front. Exhale, soften the right knee as we step that left foot all the way out. Inhale, lift the left knee out in front. Exhale, soften the right knee as we point that left foot behind us. Try not to touch down. Inhale, lift the left knee out in front. And then exhale, soften the right knee. We'll bring the left leg behind us, a little curtsy lunge. Inhale, lift the left knee out in front. If we want to challenge it, hands come to heart. Exhale, soften the right knee, straighten that left leg out. Inhale, left knee out in front. Exhale, soften the right knee, straighten the leg out to the left. Inhale, lift that left knee out in front. Exhale, soften the right knee, point that left leg behind us. Inhale, left knee out in front. Exhale, soften the right knee. We bring that left foot behind us all the way over to the right, little curtsy. Inhale, left knee out in front. And then exhale, release and let it go. Shaking that right leg out. We're just going to use a little flow to bring us back down to the ground. Just flush those legs out. So meeting at the front of the mat one more time. Feet nicely grounded, hip width distance apart. Hands to heart. Relax the shoulders, relax the breath. Inhale, both arms out, reaching up, palms together. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, gaze forward, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stepping or lightly jumping back to plank. If we're jumping, hands are planted. Look to where you want those feet to be. Lift the hips and land as softly as you can in your plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin to the ground, elbows in. Roll the heart forward, untuck the toes. Press the feet into the ground as we lift the chest. Exhale, tuck the toes, press the ground away. Downward dog. One last time, taking any little movement that feels good within the body. Feel free to rock the hips side to side, bring a little swagger into our walk. Maybe look underneath opposite armpits, whatever feels good. Again, any movement that feels good within the body here. Finally, come into stillness. We'll release down onto the knees. Bring the big toes to touch, walk those knees nice and wide apart. We're going to sit back toward the heels, pressing the ground away as we do, mounting the chest toward the ground. Maybe make a little pillow by putting one hand and one fist on top of the other. Or we can use our block. Just make sure our head and neck are fully supported. And we can fully release into our wide-legged child's pose. Feel free to rock the hips a little bit side to side, and maybe rock the head a little bit side to side, releasing any last little bit of tension that we're holding within the body. Relax the breath. And again, notice if it's caught up in the chest, just try to draw it a little bit deeper down into the belly. So nice deep belly breath, filling the body with that breath. And relaxing in stillness, just focusing in on that lovely natural breath. And when you're ready, we're going to press the hands into the ground, tuck the chin into the chest, and walk those hands all the way back toward the knees until we're sitting back up onto the heels. And we can bring those knees together.
And again, we can finish our practice sitting back on the heels. We can come back into easy cross-legged or any other seat that feels good for you this morning. Wherever we are, just come into that lovely open heart, that lovely long spine. We're going to open the palms to the ceiling. And we'll inhale both arms out, reaching up. Interlock fingers, press palms to ceiling. As we exhale, press the palms forward, release the breath, sigh it out, and let it go. We'll take that 2 more. Gently bringing the hands to heart, press the palms together, close down the eyes, and just thank yourself for creating a wee bit of space in your morning to come to the mat, to create some lovely energy, some really good strength and stability, and hopefully take that with you into the day and into the rest of the week ahead. And thank you for sharing your practice and your energy with me. Namaste.